Hi, we're back. At this point, I think I must say I'm sorry we had to take a little bit of time off. That was quite much more than a bit of time, actually. Yes, a lot of things have happened, and I wouldn't want to go into all of that right now, and that's all water under the bridge. But we're back like we never left. So, for today's episode, I won't really be talking about one topic in particular. I'll just be saying a lot of stuff. I'll be talking about a lot of things right now. Right now in our society, a lot of empty people are just moving up and down, dressing fine, looking good, going to parties and dating rubbish. Shine your eye. Shine your eye. Sometimes you self look beyond the superficial cuteness and tushness. And you as well too, don't be superficial. You yourself, make sure you are not empty. The world is right now so choked up and saturated that there is enough stuff to keep you distracted from the empty hollowness that might actually be inside you. And the truth is that when you stay distracted long enough, you actually learn to forget how to look within. And so you end up needing the external thrills to keep you going on in life. You need something to trigger the dopamine reward cycle in your brain to keep you away from your actual empty life. Let's have a conversation today. This is Monday Musings. Have you ever been in a constant state where you find yourself itching for the next exciting thing, for the next party to go to, for the next event to attend, an outing, a movie date, an event, anything at all to keep you moving ahead in life and distracted? Don't get me wrong, these things aren't bad in themselves, but when they are used as a means of distraction to keep you away from the monster that is within, to keep you from looking within, then wahala deo. Because for a lot of people, when you eventually get home and everything is quiet and you're just left alone with your own thoughts, and in the quietness you can observe yourself within you, you know that all these things don't really matter to you. So what can you do? You pick up your phone and then you are mindlessly scrolling through the status section of WhatsApp. Scroll through for a while and then you move over to Instagram and you exhaust all the interesting updates there for up to an hour. Then you migrate to Facebook and with a little sprinkle here and there of WhatsApp status checking if anything interesting pops up. You're actually hoping that something interesting would have popped up. Why though? This is because the reward center of your brain needs some sort of stimulation and you must get it at all costs. You are hooked to your device and you don't even know why. But it's because you need some form of escape from your inner self. I'm going to shake some tables now. So maybe you try pornography. You start mildly at first, but then over time you become hooked because your brain's desire for stimulation has just been satiated in a way that you have not really been used to before. You've literally just discovered a new thrill. Well, the sad thing is your brain develops some level of tolerance for the kind of stuff you used to watch before. And after like a month or two of porn addiction, well, that doesn't really get you that high you used to get to before, does it? You require yourself watching some higher levels of more intense stuff. You begin to look at some kind of more peculiar images. Perhaps you have a kind of spec that gets you going. You just need higher and higher levels of what you used to do before to get to the same level of stimulation you used to have before. And why is this? It's simple brain chemistry. Dopamine is something that is secreted by the pleasure centers of our brain, and it is secreted to reward us for tasks that we carry out. It serves as some sort of incentive, like when you tell a baby, a boy, that if you pass your exams, I'm going to buy you biscuits. But when we overstimulate it with something like porn or excessive social media use, for instance, we begin to need greater levels of external stimulation to achieve the previous level of dopamine secretion you had before. This is because your brain needs novelty. It's literally hardwired into you, because how else would you learn new stuff if you are okay with what you knew previously? So it's actually a good thing, but it's just unfortunate that it's being used in a wrong way. This time around, you're actually desensitizing the reward centers of your brain. You're creating new neural pathways that would eventually leave you dependent on getting regular amounts of that external stimulation, and that is when you get addicted. Remember, all of this is because there's an emptiness within you, and instead of confronting the issues you have within you, you are looking for something else that is external and that is loud enough to distract you from looking at the void within you. I would say one thing: try as much as you can to actually listen inwardly once in a while, because the voice that is inside is actually too weak most of the time to compete with all of the loudness that's outside. If you focus on the outside and the external stimuli too much, you would slowly and surely start to drown the still small voice that is inside you. And over time, the outside becomes so loud and so distracting that you begin to hear it less and less. The voice actually never disappears. It's kind of like when you stop hearing the sound of the clock ticking in a room that you're in. Yes, when you stop hearing the clock ticking, it's not like the clock actually ever vanished, but your brain kind of filters out that sound because it classifies it on your list of priorities as very much not important. And so that's the same way you also do not listen to the voice. But if you decide to intentionally say, I want to hear the clock tick, you would begin to hear it tick again, even though you might forget about it and stop hearing it about 10 seconds later. So how much less something as painful and as unpleasant and uncomfortable as your incompetence? Let's not deceive ourselves that by default we will just always want to make ourselves better. Nah, lie. Don't get me wrong, you mostly do that when it comes to external stuff like educating yourself, enriching your social circle, improving your hustle, and taking care of your health. But the more inward stuff, the subconscious stuff, not really, not as much. It was about 5 years ago when I looked inwardly and I found out that I was not really as good as a person as I always thought I was. I tell you, when you look inwardly, when you really look inwardly, you find out a lot of dirty stuff actually. Let me say this. A failure to intentionally look inwardly can mess you up big time when it comes to your relationship life and eventually your marriage. I'll tell you how. Imagine this scenario. You are locked in a room as a guy with about 10 random ladies who you never met before. And vice versa, like you, a lady, is locked in a room with about 10 guys you don't know. And you are given 10 minutes to interact with each and every one of them. Why is it that after the 1 hour, 40 minutes of talking with all 10 of them, when you come out of the room, somehow at the back of your mind, you already have a favorite person among all of them? You might not really say it, but somehow one part of your heart is warming up to one person more than the rest. They could be two or whatever. Why though? Why would you have ranked them in your mind's eye even though you just had a bare 10 minutes with each of them? If you're asked to be in a relationship with one of them, even though none of them might be a good fit, and somewhere in the back of your mind you might already have a list from 1 to 10 of most qualified to least qualified. Now, this is because everyone actually has a subconscious checklist at the back of their mind, and whenever you interact with another person, you are subconsciously comparing them with that your checklist in your mind, even though you might not know it. The brain is so fast that it actually happens instantaneously. Unless you are shallow or stupid, you are going to want to find out as much as you can about them within a short period of time. And this might not actually be consciously or deliberately done. You might not know that your brain is comparing them to your lists, or should I call them your specs. Specifications, not spectacles. Have you ever taken a liking to someone and then one thing happens, one situation comes up? Maybe they react one way to a situation one day, or maybe they laugh in one kind of weird way that shows too much gum, maybe. Or maybe they open up their mouths and spit out one kind of pathetic philosophy. And instantly something just changes within you about the way you regard them. Like they have dropped down so fast in the ranks. That's because they scored bad on an item in your checklist that was actually of much importance to you. And so your brain secretes chemicals that are associated with repulsion, and you begin to dislike them little by little. It's so subtle, so instant, and in most cases not evident to your conscious mind. Why am I saying all this? The main question right now is, where did that list come from? The one you have in your mind. And why do you have it? Some ladies don't like a man who drinks or cheats, whereas some ladies can manage a man who drinks so far as he does not cheat on them. Not like they actually love the fact that he drinks, but it's something that they could manage and put up with. But the moment he cheats, all hell breaks loose. Some ladies could actually manage a man who cheats on her, and constantly, consistently, again and again, forgive and repair and rebuild, so long as he does not go back on his responsibilities in the home and his duties as a man, and never disrespects her in public, obviously, even though cheating is a big disrespect to her, but does not publicly disrespect her or talk her down in public or anything like that. She endures his infidelity, but the moment he utters a disrespectful word that puts her down and is so deep and cutting, she's done with that relationship or marriage. Yeah, so my point is we all have a list, but not just a list. We have a list that is actually ranked in priority. Items at the top of the list for us are non-negotiable. The ones at the bottom, we could compromise on them. But I ask again, from where does this categorization come? That is where the inward search becomes important. Because this criteria we have could have been influenced by so many things. Our brain is like a sponge. It gives off the information that it has soaked up from a whole bunch of places, taking vibes from tradition, the environment, television, social media, our upbringing, peers, scripture, and so on. And over time, what we are doing is we are building the list brick by brick, subconsciously editing, adding, arranging, and subtracting things from that list, influencing the list according to what is important to us per time. And that is why over time our preferences change. I would stop here with this. What I would say is, Pico, take out time one of these days and inwardly search, critically examine yourself, and try to find out what that list is. I mean, this list is actually all encompassing in every category of your life. If you're a guy, what do you really like in a woman? What are the things you like about her? Your ideal woman. Yes, your ideal woman. You might be surprised at what you find out. I'm telling you. Actually take a pen and put it down on paper. List them in their different categories. Your finances, the ideologies you have and you run by and you'd almost die for. Your philosophy towards life. Put down these lists. Search yourself inwardly and really find out what you stand for and why. And maybe you could begin to see that some of the things you have been chasing and some of the ways you have reacted to things in the past are not really how you would want to react. And you can begin to edit and rearrange this list consciously now. You are bringing this checklist, which was in your subconscious mind, forward into your conscious mind, making sure that everything you have on that list is actually something that you want to be there, not something that is there because of second-hand influence that you never knew about, not stuff that is there just because you picked it up randomly while you were growing up. Make sure everything you have is the way you want it to be, because marriage is too important to be based solely on criteria that only exists in your subconscious mind, criteria that you weren't actually an active let's try that again. Criteria that you weren't actually an active participant in the creation of. Learn the discipline of periodically shutting out all the noise on the outside. I mean, shut out the noise on the outside, not your mouth. Shut your ears and your eyes. And listen to the stuff going out on the inside of you, so that you can be sure that the path you are taking is one that you actually want to take. Now, we know why they say empty vessels make the loudest noise. Don't be an empty vessel. This is Monday Musings.